You're going to a bondage night.
No, I've got.
Nailed
They
it.
always
Nailed
have
the
rope.
rape. They?
Heroes.
In case they get in a tricky
survivors.
spot.
Yeah, rope.
A pit trap.
Yeah, and
Happens.
some sunglasses. And a little, put my knife.
And the fairy bandana.
And that's the special touch.
That's your USB.
That's to let the infected know, don't fuck with me!
Maybe you should reaffirm what this channel is for. So here at A Story Worth Telling, we like to review all sorts of queer media. And recently we've been doing kind of live reactions to a couple of the big hit Netflix shows and discuss those in like the perspective of our own experiences. And we like to have those discussions with you. And we're quite excited for this episode of A Story Worth Telling because I think
It's different.
It's a bit different.
And I guess that's like the whole point of what we do here. It's like we try to explore
There's lots of variety,
representation in everywhere, in every form of like media.
So subscribe if you're new here for more content.
As many of you are aware. Oh my god, stop it, no.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. We are doing The Last of Us, which is currently all the rage on the HBO. And episode 3 was a bit of a headfuck.
That wasn't what I thought you were going to say there.
Well, it was.
It was a sensation. If you haven't watched it, spoilers are ahead. It is a great show. It's not for everyone because it is a bit scary.
Yeah, do you know, I was thinking about this. I think this is the first scary thing we've done, which says a lot about the genre.
I don't know, the prom was pretty terrifying.
One thing's universal, life's no dress rehearsal.
I think you're right. It's like the first horror
It's the
thing.
first like horror, like scary thing that we've done, and I feel like in that genre specifically, like there's not. It doesn't really lend itself maybe to kind of doing an introspection on like queer lives and stuff. Like everyone just dies in horror films.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's other examples.
There
like
are
The Walking
other
Dead
examples.
had some gays in it.
Yeah, I guess there is, and I guess it's kind of like actually, if anything, it's almost less.
Common.
No, like less judgmental. Like it doesn't really like.
What, this show?
No, like horror stories in general are like able to just kind of like be like, here's a gay, here's a straight person, here's.
I guess they're not about a love story.
Yeah, exactly. So there's almost more room to be able to like show.
Well, this was a complete surprise.
This was because it's not like this in the game.
No, that's true. It was very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Okay,
Right.
let us begin. I feel like this is where all gays meet. In holes.
Emerging from a hole. Do you need a ladder?
Boston is that way. You can make it by nightfall.
Could you imagine if that was it, though? Boston is that way. All right, see you later. And they missed that entire...
Yeah, that's
if
true.
that one choice would have just changed the whole thing. Sometimes think about that.
I actually thought he was going to like rob him.
Well, let's get to that, because there's a scene coming up where I'm like...
I'm not gonna lie, right? I have been on a lot of dates, and no man has ever cooked food that looked that good for me. You know who you are. Well, it's true. Have you ever had a man cook you? What is that? Venison? Pigeon? No.
Yes.
No.
Not a roast dinner that looked...
Also, if someone cooks you like that and you like don't really know that, but they make the effort, do you immediately think,
Got to put out then?
yeah, yeah?
I know I don't seem like the type.
No, you do.
First bit of...
Yeah. Because also it's really dangerous to like make a pass and then it not be that, and then you're
Especially
back
in
out.
an apocalypse.
Yeah, you're back out on the street
Yeah.
because you tried to fill him up and he
You're
was not
infected in
feeling
no
it.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Not in that way. Chlamydia, is it?
in stride.
He was pretty. Yeah. Well, I just... You can have the house! Just stop singing!
'Cause I've done everything I know to try and make you mine.
So, who's the girl? There is no girl.
I know.
What's your name? Bill. Go take a shower, Bill.
Oh, HBO, you do things to me.
It's so good. When I first watched that scene, I genuinely thought he was gonna stab him or something.
Yeah.
When he got him to sit down and play, I thought he was just gonna.
When I first watched it, I was very uncertain about, you know, is it? Is
Yeah.
it not? Like, could it be? Maybe I'm reading into that. And I think there's some truth in that, and that it's a really good telling of how well, like, in real life, queer people do this game of, like, deduction and trying to find each other, and actually
Find the clues.
it's an incredibly, like, especially if you're the outside and you're not part of the community, you're just straight, and you don't know what you're looking at, like, you probably wouldn't get that. I really like that, because you're like, there's so much. You kind of dig a bit, and you ask the right questions, and you see, and then you kind of play, and it genuinely is like that. Walking to a gay club, and I'm still like, yeah.
Can you imagine being at that age though, and never having had something like that, and then
Yeah.
I guess it like falling on your doorstep,
Well, and the other
falling into your hole.
Oh, the innuendos. This is going to be another Brokeback. But the other thing is that, like, again, putting it in the perspective of, like, an apocalypse movie, it's like, even when they kissed us then, you could tell, like, that was such a, like, fuck. I have found someone
Is alive.
and into me.
And is gay.
And is gay. Like,
Low
that's a
odds.
huge thing.
Low odds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why we must stick together.
That's true.
Look at that chest.
I want you to know that I'm not a whore. I don't have sex for lunches. So if I do this, I'm gonna stay for a few more days. Is that okay?
Yes.
I find that quite funny.
Why is that funny?
Just
Why is that funny?
It's just like, I'm not a whore.
I mean,
so I'm staying for 3 more days. Like, is the
2 days. 2 days only. No,
2 days,
wait.
and I get to call you a whore.
But it's really
I would be a whore for free lunches, by the way.
not just like on a Tuesday.
No, if it was
In
the
an
apocalypse.
apocalypse,
Yeah. Or if it was a Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
What I find interesting about this is that he's still bargaining over sex, really.
Fuck you! Come on!
First argument.
In 3 years.
I live in this world. You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
There are no friends to be had.
I've actually been talking to a nice woman on the radio.
You what?
The funny thing is, if it wasn't the apocalypse in real life, neither of these would get into each other. They would not. They would
You
not
don't
last.
think so?
No, I don't think they would. Because they're very different. That's what I love about this, is that, like, it's kind of like highlights their differences, but they're still willing to put up each other. But I reckon in real life, they would have been long out of there.
Well, maybe.
There's no maybe about it.
But I think they're
He believed 9/11, the government are Nazis.
I know, but like, there's such a compelling like contrast between them that I really like and makes them kind of fun.
Yeah, it does, but I think that's like under the circumstances that they're in.
Yeah, they're being forced together a little bit.
Yeah. And I think it's quite nice because like watching something like that, it's one of those just like coupley things that you see. It doesn't necessarily make a difference whether they're like two men or a guy and a girl. Like,
What?
yeah, like it's just couples argue. I really love it. It's like so natural.
Pick it up.
I can't.
Which one are you here?
I know which one I am, and I am the one that is comfortable in not doing running.
Oh.
I traded Joel and Tess one of your guns for a packet of seeds.
Would you not be a bit nervous about planting anything in the ground?
In case what? You, I don't know, grow it?
The fungus is underground.
Yeah, but it's a human infecting fungus and not a strawberry infecting fungus. They did such a good job of making them look older.
Older, yeah.
Like, amazing.
Promise you I'm gonna stay up.
Why?
Because this is my last day.
I've had bad days with you, too. But I've had more good days with you than with anyone else. Just give me one more good day, and we'll get married. And you cook a delicious dinner. Then you will crush all of these up, put them in my wine. Then you will take me by my hand, bring me to our bed, and I will fall asleep in your arms.
I can't.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Then love me the way I want you to.
Where do you stand on this issue?
Dignitas.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yeah, I mean, me too. It's hard. Like, imagine being Bill in that.
Well, this is the thing. So,
situation.
like, this is not without kind of consequence, I guess. He's a little bit harsh by saying, "If you love me, you'll help me."
Yeah.
But I guess he's decided, and he has to be forceful in order to get what he needs. I mean, this is nearly an hour into this episode. Only maybe half an hour, maybe for 40 minutes on these two, and I'm like on the verge of tears.
Oh, I know.
Just watching this scene between the two of them.
And this is the thing. Like, incredible script writing can create the most impactful relationship on screen. You feel like you've known them for the 20 years.
For me, it's like, is it just because what we know we're seeing almost ourselves represented on screen that we feel so emotional about it? Or like, is there anyone at home who's straight or bi or whatever who feels exactly the same watching this? Or is it,
I think
is it
it's
unique for us? You know?
I think it's both, and I almost feel like there's a third element to it. I think it is, in part, any person can watch this and be like, I feel so attached. This is just a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I think we can watch this and be even more attached because, yes, we are seeing ourselves represented. And it's a beautiful thing to have that extra level of connection in something that you're watching and being almost proud of it, proud of what you're seeing because of what you're seeing. And I think that leads me into the third thing, which is actually there's almost an element of, because it's something actually also quite different, that you have an even stronger bond with it. Because you're watching something, firstly, a horror series that you had no idea, did not expect this from. Then you see almost a Brokeback Mountain-esque kind of, relationship of two older men, but you're seeing it in like a perspective of like, you're putting it in a story where it just doesn't get told, like something like that hasn't been told really. And then you're like, this is so different. Because they could have done this with two straight people. They could have.
Yeah.
And it could have been really powerful.
But this
would it
makes
have
it
been
different.
as strong?
Yeah,
Yes,
this
exactly.
makes it different.
But I think it does a really good job of like honing in also on a message of like, it could be any couple. It could be any couple in this situation, and you are able to have a connection with them. But it is particularly special being this couple. I do think there is also something political here.
Political?
Yeah, because essentially you're putting a message about gay marriage in your show. You are, like, by doing this.
Oh, I see.
And you may not be in, like, that might not be your intention. You might just be, oh, they want to get married and it's sweet. But also, it's there. And it's really, really good to see.
Yeah, that's true. They could have just not done
They
that.
could have not done that bit.
Yeah.
But they chose to do that
Yeah.
bit. And also that civilization ended at 2003.
So
gay
before
marriage,
gay marriage.
before gay marriage. So there's almost an element when I watch this of like progression will make it smart regardless of what happens.
Fuck the fuckers.
You go down
We're getting married.
Yeah, well, genuinely, like, because you don't know what the politics of other communities in these histories happened, right? You don't know what's happening to queer people in like the QZ zones and stuff. You don't know what's happening
Yeah, true.
to people of different races and genders in this timeline. You'd hope, because, you know, world's gone to shit, humanity's ideally like banded together and they're giving less shit about that. But you don't know that, probably not, to be honest. And then you got this storyline where it's like, if it is still happening and it's still shit, and they probably haven't gotten to the point where, like, you know, they're even thinking about things like, what's marriage status like? It's still gonna fucking push through. And it's
Oh, I
re-
hope
it's
so.
it's a really like nice thought. It's the first meal. And instead of sitting at the end of the table, he's sitting right next to him.
You imagine if you broke a glass and it was like your last wine glass. Can you imagine? Sorry to break the tension here. Can you imagine? Like, fuck! I have to learn how to make glass.
I love that. That is where your mind has just gone. God, could you imagine if we didn't have more wine glasses?
Why'd you put it in the dishwasher?
Will it be enough?
Yeah.
Why are there already pills in the bottle?
Enough to kill a horse. I'm old. I'm satisfied. And you were my purpose.
Take me to bed.
Yep. That fucked me up.
Love.
If you find this, please do not come into the bedroom. We left the window open so the house wouldn't smell. I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died. But I was wrong, because there was one person worth saving.
Oy, 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 oy.
Bloody hell. And that really put this show on the map, I think.
Yeah.
That episode. Everyone was like, oh, have you seen episode 3?
I want that level of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there is something to be said about a show kind of just doing something rogue, you know, and being like, oh, well, you know what? And now we're going to show you a story of love. And doing that kind of like blindsiding people.
It was very that.
It was a huge that. Like, it was so unexpected, but also felt so like not forced, incredibly natural. Like, it just worked. And there are so many things that make you think as well. Like, when he's like reading that last letter out, there's a part of me that thinks he talks about these ways in which, like, you know, that was his purpose, but like it could have been so different, you know.
Yeah.
Bill could have been a man that, like, had the world not gone to shit, he maybe never would have, like, you know, even come to terms with his sexuality, let alone like actually find, you know, someone. So
You're trying to say that good things happen out of
no, what
bad things.
I'm well, yeah, maybe. I think what's telling is that as a story maker, you kind of say in any world, whether that's like your fantasy or in any fictional world, this story still exists. This story of love and this story of queer love can still exist. And in that, it can also like thrive and prevail. And it's really important to kind of see where those moments of like good things happening, I guess, can happen. Because it is a nice thought. Because I do kind of think, I don't even reckon they would never have met in real life. And he would always be singing, maybe that song about that girl. That isn't a girl.
Despite being so like tragic in an emotional way, it's also very hopeful.
That's what I mean.
It's
yeah.
really hopeful.
It's really hopeful. And it sets a big fuck you to like your classic horror films and action films and stuff. And that mindset of like,
it's so formulaic. They don't have to be that way.
Yes, they don't have to be that way. You can have two guys. You can have a love story. You can have something like this happening. And it's beautiful. I think that's the other thing. It's just beautiful.
And I guess maybe a little bit of credit too to the game which this series was based on, because they had all these characters existed.
Yeah.
The stories were different, but
yeah,
the Bill and Frank story existed to some extent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, like it's part of this kind of new genre of like adapting stories and finding new ways to tell stories. And if you just so happen to tell a story with a guy and a guy instead of a guy and a girl, or two girls, then
Bravo.
Yeah, like well done to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, you must.
And if you would like to share the apocalypse with me and my sidekick Josh,
then our address is.
But there will be traps and holes.
Traps and holes.
Traps and holes. I think I would just constantly have a bit of like a party house going in the apocalypse. And what else is there to do?
You just make as much noise as possible. This is why you'd be useless. Why is the music not playing?
He was playing piano.
Yeah, in a fenced off compound.
So I'll just be busting,
traps and holes.
Madonna.
Okay, I'll set the traps and holes.
Okay, we can do like
You
we
do the playlist.
Yeah.
Apocalypse playlist.
And also we can have it like underground. We'll have like a little underground dance bunker.
A rave. Okay.
And then upstairs we can all be civilized and sit and eat dinner and stuff.
So what you're saying is you want to be a fun guy.
Oh no. No.
I did it.
No. Okay. Right.
Zing.
And on that note, thank you for watching. We hope you
So much for
enjoyed.
watching.
Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You can watch all of our videos, the latest of which we've just finished is Young Royal Season 2. So if you're into that and something less scary, I'd go watch that. Hit the like button, comment, let us know what you want us to review, and join our Patreon, where we try to do exclusive content for you, and it's just generally supporting the channel. Why not? Share the love.
Share that love.
Or the fungus.
Share love, not fungus.
And let us know what you want us to do next.
Yes, please. Recommendations below.
Yes.
Well, fairly well.
Fairly well on your
See
travels.
you in the next episode.
If you survive. But real talk. Ah! No!
You dare.
I don't like you!